Hey everyone, my name is Daniel Hilty, and this is 3-Minute Questions of Faith on Campbell TV. Today we're considering a question that came from one of you, which is, what is the evidence for Jesus? Is there evidence for this one whom Christians believe is the coming together of the human and the divine in the world? Well, traditionally speaking, there are at least 4 levels of evidence for Jesus. The first is the Bible itself. The earliest documents in the Bible to refer to Jesus are the letters of Paul, beginning around the year 50. After that, we encounter evidence for Jesus in the Gospels, especially Matthew, Mark, and Luke, which were the earliest written, Mark being written around the year 65. But some of you might be asking, is there evidence for Jesus outside the Bible in other documents? Well, not a lot in the ancient world, but there are some. The earliest occurred in the year 93, when the Jewish historian Josephus wrote in passing about Jesus, who was called the Christ. The third level of evidence for Jesus traditionally is what we might call the history of the movement. In other words, people will say that something obviously happened about 2,000 years ago to cause a small group of people to spread their message that would transform the world. So the Bible, other ancient documents, and the history of the movement are the first 3 pieces of evidence for Jesus, but none of them, at least for me, are quite as convincing as the 4th piece of evidence, which is personal experience. In other words, whether something happened 5 years ago, 100 years ago, 2,000 years ago, none of that is quite as real as what is happening right now, because what is happening right now is real. And I believe that if we have eyes to see it, if we open our eyes to see it, we can see evidence right now of the divine and human coming together, Christ in a million different ways, hope giving way to despair, death giving way to life, people forgiving each other who might never have forgiven each other before. All of that is evidence of Christ, and all of that is true. In some ways, it's the truest stuff of all, because it's the most beautiful stuff of all. And as someone once said, the idea of Christ is too beautiful not to be true.
Thank you so much for watching Campbell TV. Please check the rest of our channel for other videos on how to connect with God, love others, and grow in faith. Plus, if you like this video, please consider supporting Campbell by setting up a recurring gift on our website or by clicking on the link below. Until next time, remember that God loves you, Christ loves you, and Campbell does too.